Good morning, Facebook Live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, however you're catching us. Appreciate it. I'm live on Facebook right now, and sometimes we post it to YouTube and other channels. What time is it? It is about almost 10 a.m. on Monday morning. I've been down here. This has been my desk this morning. Here at the bar, my water, my vitamin C water, my water that I drink every morning. Sitting here doing a bunch of orders and updating our website and getting ready for a big day. 2 big days in a row are coming up, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to walk outside, show everybody the garden as well, because the garden's looking fantastic. And 2 big days in a row are coming up. So if you walk by the kitchen now, you'll smell the chiffon cake that I'm cooking for strawberry shortcake later. Making a vegan, gluten-free chiffon cake for strawberry shortcake. So I'm out in the garden right now, and 2 big days right in a row are happening for us here at Aroma Time, and that is today. Our son Justin graduates high school. He gets to walk and graduate high school. They are doing limited spots for graduation. It's everything spaced out. And just yesterday, the governor said they can do graduations up to 150 people with some restrictions, I think. But the governor announced it yesterday, but this was already planned. So Justin today at, I think, 1:30, he walks and gets his diploma. One of 2 students here at Ellenville that gets a Regents with honors. I don't think 105, 110 kids. Him and one other person got that diploma, Regents with honors, so we're very proud of him. And of course, most of you know that Justin got an amazing scholarship. He's going to play Division I baseball, which is scheduled to go. They've rearranged the schedule for baseball, for college baseball next year, and they cut out a couple of the flight trips because Justin's playing up in Buffalo. He'll be playing up in Buffalo, Canisius, Division I, and literally he got an amazing scholarship. I mean, we barely pay anything for him going there. So 6'4" lefty with some great pitches. So that's what did it, and his grades too, of course. So they canceled their Oregon trip next year. They play the West Coast. They play a lot of really tough schools. That's what Justin liked about committing to Canisius, was they had a really tough schedule. Indiana, Notre Dame, and they play some really great colleges. Kansas, and Justin always likes a challenge like that. And Canisius has a very good record in the MAC conference. And when Jamie and I went, Jamie and I fell in love with the coaches. I mean, the coaches were awesome. Justin had 11 Division I coaches talking to him last summer to try to get him and lure him into their programs at these Division I universities, colleges. And when Jamie and I went up there and visited, the coaches really, for Jamie and I, sold it. We were like, I hope he picks Canisius because these coaches are awesome. They were both graduates of Canisius, both baseball players in the program, both vested interest. So it really you could really see a difference. A lot of college coaches sometimes will jump around and get one job to another. And you can tell that these guys, this is their life. They are part of Canisius, and just there. When we sat in the head coach's office, I looked at his bookshelf, and we started talking about all these motivational books that he had on a shelf, and we started trading names of stuff that we had read and he had read, and a lot of the stuff when it was on his shelf was like I've read a lot of those books, so it was really, really awesome. To have that kind of rapport. So Justin did pick Canisius as his number 1 pick, and he'll be going there. They're playing baseball this summer and everything, games and everything, but of course no spectators or 1 parent or something like that. So that's what's happening. But so today Justin is graduating high school. He gets to walk. He gets his diploma. One of 2 students here at Ellenville that gets an advanced Regents diploma with honors or something. I think that's what it's called. So he's really happy. We're very proud of him for that. One of 2. So that's today's big. That's what's big today. Tomorrow, legally in the Hudson Valley, as long as the governor doesn't change his mind, we're going to be able to seat you out here in the garden. Hudson Valley starts tomorrow. The 7 regions upstate started last week. little bit of confusion the way it was written on the website and this and that. But we start phase 2 tomorrow here in the Hudson Valley, and phase 2 of reopening. So we are ready to rock and roll out here. I've been working hard all week back here. If you've seen some of our lives and some of our pictures. So I rearranged the garden to make more room because you have to be 6 feet apart. So I took a tape measure out here and I was measuring the other day to rearrange tables. And of course I needed more space out here. Usually we see most people under the tent. It's a 20 by 20 tent. And there's usually almost 9 tables under there, 6 tables, 8 tables. Usually 8 tables go underneath that tent. And now we have only 4 tables underneath the tent because I took the tape measure out. So I said, gee, 4 tables, 12 people, 16 people, that's not a lot, especially if you're a 2-top, a deuce coming in. That's only, 8 people at a time being able to back here. You can't, the finances don't work for that. So I said, what can I do? So I rearranged a bunch back here. I moved the garden. The garden just wasn't done right to begin with years ago, and I did it. So I moved it. I was able to add 2-3 more tables there, spread things out, did a lot of cleanup back here. And I built this pond. It's a koi fish pond. There's fish in there now. We put some in 2 days ago. Our daughter Courtney has a bunch of fish where she at her house, 2 ponds there. So we brought some of the fish over. That's where I got the plants from. And I built this on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week. So I'm thinking about putting some kind of food counter over in the corner here, or some kind of, if Anthony's watching, Anthony and I just had a couple messages a few minutes ago about bringing music back. So Anthony, I'm thinking, if you're still watching, I'm thinking maybe like putting a little platform back here and have the musicians play back here in the corner when they come to play out in the garden. So you have the musicians there and you have the pond and waterfall there. So that's just one of my thoughts about where I can put them. Over here, I have some work to do today and tomorrow. I've got to rearrange some stuff, get the grill ready to rock and roll. I got these 2 new high-powered burners here because I want to do clam bakes and things like that out here. So this is 210,000 BTUs, this burner. My old burner over there was just not, I don't know how many BTUs the old one was, but this is 210,000. This one here is 180,000 BTUs. So both of these are super powerful. I bought 2 more of these today to put onto the smoker. If you've seen our smoker, it sits in the parking lot. I was going to put it back here, but I can't because there's not enough room, and then I couldn't get as many tables. So I'm going to I ordered 2 more of those 210,000 BTU units, and I'm going to replace these burners on our smoker here. So our smoker comes with 2 burners, 2 propane burners, and those burners just aren't powerful enough. Those are the stock burners that came with it, and it's hard to boil water with those. But here's our smoker, and if you've never seen our smoker, it's a 14-foot trailer, lots of cargo space. Be cool if we can put a musician on there and play some music. That'd be really cool. We smoked a bunch of wings this weekend. I'm just gonna get ready to smoke brisket later in the week. Lots of chicken went in there for our chicken special on Saturday. We smoked tons of chicken in there. The smoker usually goes 3 days a week or so. We have something smoking in there. So here's some of our plans while we start this reopening process. We're going to have musicians playing a lot outside. We understand that people want to go out. A lot of people just cannot wait to go out. A lot of people don't want to, which is fine. Everybody has a different comfort level, and we understand that. So no problem. But we're going to get more music out here more often. We're going to do some cheese and wine tastings out here. I think to begin with, we're going to do some complimentary cheese tastings. So just get a couple different local cheeses and just sample. You sample for free. Come on down. I just have to figure out how. Jamie's getting ready to get on a conference, a Zoom call right now with, I'm not sure if it's with the county or with the liquor authority, with somebody to find out exactly, make sure we're following all the rules to a T. We had a Zoom call with our staff last night after service last night. All of our staff, we went through all the points and guidelines that they're saying we have to do to reopen properly. So Jamie is going to get on that call here at 10 o'clock this morning, which is right now, and find out and make sure we're not missing anything and see what's happening. So, but we want to We want to do more music. We want to do tastings. I want to we've sold so much local cheese throughout this pandemic. It's insane. It's insane how much groceries we've actually sold. I would have never dreamed we would have sold the amount of groceries that we've sold. I mean, basically in the dining room, most of you have been in, a lot of you have been in the dining room. We have the storage racks in the center now. All the tables are gone in the center now. And we put basically our storeroom there. So we would put up vinegar, sugar, raisins, walnuts, and flour, and people would just buy it like crazy, and we kept having to reorder. So I was really shocked. I had no idea when we were going into this. I knew we'd sell wild salmon and ribeye steaks, and that's what we stocked up on, but I had no idea people wanted basic essentials, and I had no idea there'd be a shortage on yeast. We've never had a shortage on yeast. We've sold yeast. We've shipped yeast out to people. Eggs, crazy that you couldn't get eggs in the store at one point. I'm not sure now because I don't go in the grocery store that often at all. If I do go in, it's in and out, so I'm not sure what's happening in grocery stores. What's short? I mean, toilet paper, insane. So we have to find out exactly what's legal to do. So we would love to do cheese tastings out here, things like that. Complimentary, totally complimentary, by the way. I don't want to, or maybe I can do it. Maybe I can put it on the front patio and our front sidewalk and just have people walk up, 2 people at a time that are with each other and taste some cheese and give out some free cheese samples. We've sold a ton of amazing cheese from the Hudson Valley. The Hudson Valley, and I want to do this because I really want to highlight all the local cheeses. And we sell a lot of cheese. We sell a fraction of the cheese that's available in the Hudson Valley. I just can't stock all that cheese. So, but we stopped at a friend's house yesterday after our run. Did a little group run yesterday. A bunch of us get together every Saturday or Sunday, and we socially distance in a run where the race would be that weekend. So yesterday should have been the Orange Classic. There should have been 1,000 people lined up in Middletown at the high school for the Orange Classic race yesterday, and of course, none of this. You can do none of this. So in the week before, we were in Walk Hill, and a couple weeks ago, we were here at Aroma Time to do the Run Like the Wind. And a lot of weeks, we donate money to the race director to give to their organization that they're raising money for. And it worked out great because here at Aroma Time, or Run Like the Wind, we raised $1,100 between giving away a pizza voucher and people showing up and donating $10, $20. So we raised $1,100 very easily this year. Typically, Jamie and I have to work for 3-4 months, have volunteers, get lots of sponsors, pay a lot of fees, get a lot of trophies. The trophies alone are like $2,500. You get a timer who times the race and sets up their gear and lists this, your exact time and reports it. That right there is another $1,000, $1,200, sometimes more. And then you have to pay for porta potties, which are $300 each or something. It's something outrageous. And by the time you do all this work for 4 months, and when you balance the bank account at the end, you balance the income at the end with the expenses, you make a couple of $1,000s. And we were able to literally make $1,100 clear, $1,100 just like that without any of that hard work. So it was fantastic. That was the one good thing about that. Next week we're doing a run up in Sullivan County. We're going to go up there and run. So a bunch of us get together, socially distance, run every week and do the races that were supposed to happen. And it's really great. So I don't know where I was going with that. I have no idea where I was going with that. If my timer goes off, I have to go into the kitchen because I have the chiffon cake in for the strawberry shortcake. I'm making a vegan, vanilla, gluten-free chiffon cake for our strawberry shortcake. So out here, we're going to be doing a lot more cooking out here. That's why I got those burners that are over there on the table right there. I got those burners right there. And we're going to be doing a lot more on the smoker. Tables are spread out here. Tuesday, tomorrow is the day that you can officially, legally eat outside in a restaurant in the Hudson Valley. I know a lot of people have come in and said, I go to my one favorite restaurant. It's kind of like a speakeasy. And of course, I know a lot of that happened, and it was just, people want to go out. People still want to go out. They want to go out through this whole thing, and we understand that. So, but now you can legally come out to a restaurant, sit down outside. We're going to do relaxed, casual dining out here, which means you place your order, and we're asking that you place your order ahead of time. If you've done any to-go food with us in the last 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, you'll know that there's sometimes like wait times of an hour to an hour and a half because our kitchen gets very busy and we don't want to overload the dining room with people coming in or curbside, so we have to space it out, because that's one of the other reasons, because the kitchen just can't produce that much as well. So if you were to come in and sit down, it might take half an hour for your food to come out. So we want you to call ahead of time. Our menu's on our website at RomaTimeBistro.com. It's updated. It was on there this morning updating it. It is updated as long as it's published properly. So if you order ahead of time, then we can say, okay, come in at 7 o'clock, come in at 5 o'clock, come in at whatever time. We're going to be adjusting our hours. We'll be opening for more hours. Just be patient with this because we're not really sure what hours really work right now and this and that, but we will be expanding our hours on the weekends, definitely. Opening up an hour, staying open an hour later at least, and then opening up earlier on Saturdays and Sundays. No brunch menu as of right now. We're sorry about that, but no brunch menu as of right now. We're just not geared to do that. A lot of restaurants, be patient wherever you go to any restaurant, because a lot of restaurants right now are going to be opening up tomorrow, and they don't have much figured out because they put one of those tents in their parking lot, and they've never served there before. They're putting it in spaces where they don't normally serve. So the logistics of getting water to the tables and running the food will not be that systematic yet. So just be patient wherever you go. Keep in mind, a lot of other patrons, a lot of other guests want to be eating out as well. So we're at whatever restaurant you go to, please don't linger at the tables long after you're done eating. I know some of you are excited. Jamie and I are so excited. Like we cannot wait to go out. We're like, where do we go? Do we go to Nyack first? Do we go to Hudson, New York? Like, where do we go for our first dine out adventure? And Jamie and I have always been people that like to go sit at the bar, talk to the bartender, order an appetizer here, then jump out and go to another place, order another appetizer, and then jump out and order another appetizer some other place. Of course, we can't do bar seating because you can't do indoor bar seating. I'm not sure if places have socially distanced bars outside. I'm sure they do. So that's how Jamie and I eat, is we just jump around. So we can't wait to go out to eat. There's a lot of people that just cannot wait. I mean, we had phone calls all weekend. You can see outside. We're like, no, we cannot legally yet. Tuesday's a day. Tuesday's phase 2. Tuesday's a day. But so and so's serving. I said, I don't know what so and so does, but we're not. We're following the law. The problem with this whole thing with being able to see people out here and doing is, if we set people out here, we can get reported. And a lot of restaurants in the Hudson Valley got reported. Some places lost their liquor license. Some places were downright abusing it. Some places were like, I'm not closing. I'm going to stay open. I need to make money, and I don't care. Give me the warnings. It's not a law. You're just mandating it. Well, some of those places lost their liquor license as a result of this because they got 2, 3, 4 warnings. And after the third warning, they're like, okay, you're not learning your lesson. They would come in and give you a warning the first time. And I saw a lot of restaurants several restaurants post on their Facebook page that, we can't, sorry, you cannot sit in our grass and eat because somebody reported us. Somebody called us in. The government made it so easy. The state government made it so easy for you to report any business because they had it on the website. Report this business for breaking the mandate. Report this business for serving. Report this business for being open. And you could go in there and literally report any business you wanted for breaking the law. And it was terrible. They made it very easy to track businesses that did that. And it wasn't only restaurants. It was florists. It was all kinds of businesses, barbershops that were, that got reported. So, of course, we didn't want something reported to, like that. And the local police are understanding. Local police do a great job, and they're not the ones concerned. But if, say, police get called or the liquor authority gets called, then we get in some trouble, and that's trouble we didn't want. So tomorrow, Tuesday, is the legal day here in the Hudson Valley that you're allowed to go into the outside dining spaces. So you'll go to the bar, order your food, or order your food ahead of time. You will be able then to, we'll bring the food out to you, pick your food up at the bar, one or the other. I'm not really sure how it's going to quite work yet. We're not going to do full service out here. So you won't have a server, a waiter, or waitress coming to your table and like you normally would. A lot of people, quite honestly, aren't comfortable with somebody standing over them like that. So we're going to phase that in as the more comfort level builds. Some people are totally comfortable. Some people are totally fine with it, right? But some people aren't. Some people are iffy about this still, and they're like, okay, we're going to go and with precautions for outdoor dining. Other people are like, I don't care at all. We've seen every spectrum. There's people that have picked up food from us that barely will roll their window down. People that walk in, I'm like, I haven't worn a mask for this whole thing. Do I have to wear one now? So we've seen every different comfort level. Even have people that call and say, oh, is anybody sick in your place today? Is anybody, coughing today? And we totally understand everybody's angle. So we're not saying what's right and what's wrong. We're just saying a lot of different people will want to be eating out and some people don't. Some people want to sit down and they want to see that every single person has their mask on. You don't have to have your mask on if you're a patron. All right, you can sit down at the table here because you can't eat with a mask on. Let's face it, that just does not work. Does not work at all. So, but the state wants you to, when you get up to go to the bathroom, put your mask on and walk. They want you to have things that are marked like, okay, if you're waiting for the bathroom, one person should wait here and another person should wait here for the bathroom. And this is all the stuff that Jamie is going over now with that. So Anthony's saying we'd get pizza from my dad's and then drive down to the Bashkill. Oh, that sounds great. So the Bashkill in Wurtsboro. So Anthony, who just commented here, his father owns Giovanni's for a long, long time. Anthony, how long has he owned that? Like 40 years or something? And we had never been there until last year, and we went on his Wednesday night pizza night. I've got to tell you, it was one of the best pizzas that I've had. So classic and rustic, the pizza. I was addicted instantly. I was like, this is really good pizza. Amazing pizza. We were talking to somebody last night that was waiting for food to go, and she was from Hudson, New York. And I'm like, I love Hudson because there's that one place called Oak, and it's a certified pizzeria. The guy's certified from Naples, the Napolitan Association of Pizza Makers. And I'm like, that right there, she was like, you're right. That's a really amazing pizza. So Giovanni's makes an awesome, awesome pizza. And in fact, Jamie and I are off on Wednesday. So Anthony, is your father open this Wednesday? Will he be seating outside? Will he be doing that? Because that might be a great night for Jamie and I, a great place to go for us to break our dining out during this. So that might be great. So Anthony, just drop a comment if your father's open on Wednesday night. We'd love to go grab something to eat. Beautiful garden, by the way, Giovanni's, if you've ever been there. Very beautiful garden outside, very unique. The tables are awesome. That's out there. And the pizza oven's outside. The pizza oven is outside. So you can see everything being made. It's really, really cool. So he says they opened up in 1991, but we had a pizzeria in Queens since 1964. Yeah, very, very. And Anthony's father works the business. He's the one making your pizzas. It's really cool. So maybe on Wednesday, Anthony's going to play music here for us soon. Him and I were chatting this morning about getting on booking some of his availability. Anthony's played here many, many times. Local Ellenville person lives here, musician. So we can't wait to get Anthony back here and our other musicians. I'm talking to Eric, the sax beast, this afternoon. Him and I have had conversations about it. He can't wait to come back and play. Hopefully we can get him and Gennaro. Him and Gennaro played here back in the fall time and totally lit the building up. It was insane, the music it was awesome. So Anthony said he built the ovens. Yeah, that's really cool. Anthony's father built those ovens. And Anthony, I know there's a story behind it because I think he was one of the first ones to build something like that, and they didn't know how to inspect it because they've never seen something like that outside or something. There was a story I can't quite remember about your father's pizza ovens there, but he did build those ovens. So that's really, really cool. It's really awesome, folks. For me, good pizza is very rustic. It's uneven. The stone needs to be really hot to really get the characteristics and get that crust to cook. The dough needs to be made properly. A lot of pizzerias will make dough too quick, where the yeast doesn't have enough time to really develop flavors. So slow fermentation of yeast is super, super important, and because that develops a lot of the characteristics and flavors. Some pizzerias put so much yeast in that they use the dough the same day. If you can stretch that dough out between 2 days, 3 days, and slow fermentation, it improves. Using the right flour is good. Is so important. Not overloading it with cheese. So there's a lot, and having the oven so hot and the wood. that it's rustic and it's not perfect. Like a lot of pizzeria pizza, which is nothing wrong with pizzeria places. They have their place. It's pizzeria pizza. It's done in a regular oven. But they're like evenly round, and you're like, I like with the bubbles on it, with the burnt spots on it, or the browner spots. It's really, really cool. So yeah. Connie asks, what town is Giovanni's in? So Connie, it's just south of Wurtsboro. It might be considered Wurtsboro, but it's just south of Wurtsboro on 209. If you're leaving from Ellenville going to Wurtsboro, you go past the highway, and it's on the right hand side. I don't know, a couple miles down. So it's been there literally for years. 91. So Ellie says, Anthony, I did not know your father owns Giovanni's. I haven't been there in a while. Yep. So yeah. Awesome. Thanks for commenting, Ellie. So yeah. So I think that's where Jamie and I are going. Kathleen says we love Giovanni's. Perfect. So yeah, I think that's where Jamie and I are going to go on Wednesday. As long as they're open. So Justin graduates today. Two big things that are on the title of this. Justin graduates today from high school. He's graduating with honors. Advanced Regents Diploma with honors. One of 2 students here in Ellenville to get that. So we're super proud of him. Plus, he's got a full ride scholarship to Canisius to play Division I baseball next year, which is happening. We're on with their coaches last week, and the program's going forward. They're allowing summer students to come in and train. Justin's playing in a league this summer, a collegiate league this summer, and their games are on. There's the limiting spectators, of course. So that's the story with that. And then tomorrow, we're legally allowed to. That's my timer. That's my timer for the pizza. Not for the pizza. I'm thinking of pizza now. That's my timer for the chiffon cake in the kitchen. I'm gonna have to take a peek at that. That's for our our strawberry shortcake. So let me just see here. Just bear with me while I check this. I'll actually reverse the angle here so you can see. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. So that is done. That's great. I'm going to go back outside now. Let me just close the oven here. All right, perfect. So join us starting tomorrow. Call ahead. We're still doing groceries. We have our full grocery list. We're almost out of sablefish. More sablefish comes in this week. Wild salmon just came back in. Halibut's here. The halibut is dynamite. Quick story on our halibut. So we buy direct from Alaska Gold, our halibut. We buy our sablefish direct from there, and we buy most of our salmon direct from there. One of the companies we've been buying from for years that has a fantastic seafood program. I first met them 20 years ago when we moved back from Colorado. And the director of the seafood, who's still there, his division, he was like, him and I quite didn't agree in the very, very beginning because I was coming from a very sustainable seafood background, and they weren't used to that. A lot of the companies, I mean, Slavin Fish, if anybody's ever seen the Slavin Fish trucks or knows the Slavin, Barry Slavin and I would get into argument after argument of why, wild salmon wasn't better, of why this wasn't better, of it doesn't matter about this, about catch methods, didn't matter about population. I mean, him and I got in several arguments, friendly arguments, at the trade shows. And because he was just thought I was trying to bust his chops. I'm like, no, this is what people want. People want sustainable. And I just came from Colorado, major farm to table state, real food. Boulder, the whole food movement, real food movement was there in Colorado long before it was here in New York. I mean, Boulder banned planting GMO crops back in the 90s in Boulder County. So that's how progressive they were out there. And so I was talking to this one company, and he thought I was busting his chops too. And after a while, he saw that what I was saying was validated. So he would ask me over the years for advice on bringing in new seafood. I want you to try this, Marcus. I want to try this. So he called me a couple weeks ago, and he was like, Marcus, halibut. I've got a lead on the most incredible halibut. I've looked up and down for we've done taste test after taste test after taste test of halibut, of Alaskan halibut. Alaskan halibut has a short season. It's just like salmon has a short season, just like the albacore tuna has a short season. So you have to catch it and freeze it right away, and that's how you would get truly fresh halibut from Alaska, because the season's so short. So he calls me and goes, Marcus, I've tasted so many halibuts, Alaskan halibuts, and I wasn't convinced. He goes, but I found the one packer, the one brand, the one cooperative that is doing it right. And as he's describing this, and I'm like, I list off the name, I say Alaska Gold, seafood cooperative. And he's like, yeah. He goes, how do you know that, Marcus? I go, that's the one we've been buying. That's the one we've been selling. That's the one we use. He goes, you do? He goes, I should have known, Marcus, to ask you to begin with, about if you had a good source for halibut. And this is a big company. They have like 8 locations across the country, independently owned still, by the way. So we have that halibut. It's awesome. It's not on our menu, but it probably will be on our menu as we get busier. As we get busier, we're going to be able to add more things onto our menu. So that's a super exciting thing. We lowered the prices. So if I'm talking about lowering the prices on our menu, we did that. We lowered our prices. You can come in and get salmon for $15.99 now instead of $30. $15.99. The sides are separate. Keep in mind the sides are separate. So if you wanted, like before, people would say, well, I want the salmon, but I don't want the rice, and I want extra vegetables. Now you can come in, order grilled asparagus, order the salmon, get more asparagus than you would have gotten if you would have just gotten vegetables on the salmon, and come out ahead as far as price-wise. So the way we reworked it was, it requires less execution, less movement in the kitchen for us, which saves labor, which saves money. So we're allowed to offer you more food at a better value with that kind of a system. And we've been analyzing this for a while, and I have some friends that have done it, and they're just so happy with the way you order a la carte like this. Last week we went through broccoli rabe like crazy from a local farm from Migliore. Went through it like crazy. Went through 2 cases of asparagus. I've never gone through that much asparagus on my menu when we've been open in a normal season that quickly. But because you can choose now the vegetable that you want, it's super easy, because you say, I want the salmon with grilled asparagus. I want the brisket with sauteed kale. I don't want potatoes. A lot of people are avoiding carbohydrates and avoiding starches and potatoes. A lot of people are avoiding them. So now you don't have to worry about it coming on your dish. If you order it, you want to. The burger price dropped. The size of the burger went up. If you order potatoes for $6, it's really a double order of potatoes from what you used to get. So you can order 2 burgers that are bigger burgers, 1 order of potatoes, and come out with more food at a lower price. We're not making coleslaw anymore. We took that off the menu. Coleslaw was very labor intensive. You have to make it every 2 days. Somebody has to sit there and shred the cabbage, and you mix it. And if you don't use it in 4 days, you're throwing it out and you're wasting product. And the veganese that we use is very expensive in it, really expensive. Hellman's mayonnaise costs $55 a case for restaurants. Veganese costs about $100 a case for the same pack size. It's 4 1-gallon units. But of course, this is our commitment to real ingredients, better food, non-GMOs, things like that. So that's our commitment, and that's the price you pay. So by eliminating some things and not assuming that everybody wants the same dish, and going through less steps in the kitchen, we can deliver more food at a better value. So that's the equation we've been looking at for a while, and I've seen other restaurants do it, and they absolutely love it. So when you sit down out here, and it's regular service, it's going to be tapas style. You order your soup, salad, whatever, and it's going to come out whenever it's ready out of the kitchen. There's no more coursing food where you'd get your salad first, and then you wait for your burger. And when you order a salad, a burger, whatever, it's all here. It comes out as soon as it's ready to go. So it helps our kitchen get food out quicker. And again, 1 less person in the kitchen is the goal, 1 less person, which then helps everybody and less crowded and be safer anyway. That was part of the goal as well. Just had a delivery truck pull up. I'm not sure who's here. Maybe it's our Baldor, our produce delivery. Got lots of cool stuff coming in, more organic strawberries, more organic cantaloupes are coming in today. I ordered local asparagus again. Hopefully it's in. It was showing short inventory last night when I was online ordering it. So that's it, folks. I'm going to take you out with a picture of the waterfall that I built, and the rest of the view of the garden here. So let's see who's here. Yeah, it looks like our produce is here. So again, the two big things, 2 big days. Justin graduates high school today, and you're allowed to sit outside in Hudson Valley restaurants legally tomorrow for service. So those are the 2 big things that are happening today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment, #live if you're on live. I know I was on for about 40 minutes just talking away. If you're on the replay, #replay. And here is the picture of here's a view of the waterfall that I built. People have already asked me, well, who did this for you, Marcus, and how much did it cost you? Who'd you pay to do this? And I built this myself. First time trying, a little intimidated. I was very intimidated, actually. This is why I didn't do this a couple years ago. And I just watched a couple of YouTube videos. Isn't YouTube great? And I watched a couple of YouTube videos and said, this is pretty simple. And I went to the store and got all the stuff I needed and took some plants from my daughter's pond, from Courtney's pond, got some fish in there that are in there swimming around, set up the waterfall. These were rocks that were already in the yard. It was a chicken from my mom's house. My mom would be very proud of this. So I want to set up back here. It's where I want to set up like the little stage or something so musicians can play. We have electrical access there since this has electric access here. So that's the waterfall in the pond. People have been, when they're waiting for their food, have walked around. We've always encouraged people since day one of this. If you ordered food, just don't stand at the bar and wait. Go walk out into the garden, mosey out inside, and when your food's ready, we'll come bring it to you, whether it's out in the garden or outside at your car. So I didn't want to stack people up in the restaurant waiting at the bar. So a lot of people the last week that have been waiting for food to take their food out have walked back through here and seen this, and they're like, oh wow, that's fantastic. So really excited. A lot of people have said, how can I reserve that table there? Like, can I always reserve that table? Can I always reserve this table? And no, unfortunately, we can't do that. For the summer, we can't reserve that. They were like, I want to sit there all the time, all summer long. And don't let anybody else sit there. And I said, well, we can't not let anybody else sit there. But the table's available. It's yours. All right, folks, new garden seating layout, less tables. See you in here tomorrow. We have the front sidewalk is available too. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going for my bike ride now, and then I got to go watch Justin graduate at 1:30 today. And talk to you later.